This is crazy.
It is.
This is so crazy.
So we looking there, or we just
man, we can do whatever, man. I don't know. It's a fake podcast. Ain't none of this real. That's what I always say. Like none of this is real.
It's absolutely real. If you making it happen, it's real. Because the thing about it, if you say it's not real, then you're starting to downplay
the importance of it.
No, not necessarily the importance of it, the actuality of it. Because I was just talking to somebody about the Imposter Syndrome, right? And it's like you downplay. I was listening. No. I was watching the David Letterman thing on Netflix with Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
And I've never heard Billie Eilish music. You know what I mean? I know she was winning stuff, but I never knew anything about her. I just like that ain't my thing.
Yeah, I don't know what song she did.
Yeah, but she's been winning Grammys since she was like
young,
15, 16. I didn't know like she was killing it at that age. Yeah. And so she was saying like, giving somebody accolades too early or a kid too early kind of diminishes it, because it's like, if you're thinking you ain't nobody and they gave it to me, they're just giving it to anybody. It's kind of, think about it, it's like, that's kind of crazy. So when you start to see yourself with like imposter syndrome, you're like, oh, it's a fake podcast because, I ain't nobody and I'm got a little podcast. No, this is real. So don't try to be like, no, it's this. You can title it fake podcast all you want, but this is an actual podcast. So don't diminish your stuff.
And that's how we starting this episode off, man. Welcome to the fake podcast, dog. Man, it's Johnny Dash. Look, man, I don't know what number episode this is because I done lost count of the numbers, man. I done had some episodes that I done had to I done did them, and then I can't post them for certain reasons. So I'm off on the numbers, but I'm gonna get it back right eventually. But man, here with somebody very, 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 very special, bro. Dr. Lamon Lawhorn, man. We currently look. You're the first person on this in the state of North Carolina.
Oh,
so congratulations on that, man. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And this is crazy because I don't know. It's been some years since we've seen each other. Like
I think the last time we got to link up, it was at in Winston at the restaurant. Was it a restaurant? It was in the parking lot or something like that. You had came through and I had to see you.
Bro, I don't even know.
Like the Ale House by the Hayes Mall.
I know where that's at. I don't even remember that, bro.
I think that was the last time.
Bro, it's been so long, but we still, we talk, every couple months, man, we'll tap in, have a hour-long conversation or something, man. But dog, it is good to see you, man, in the flesh, man. Man, this has been a crazy, just like I don't even know, bro.
It's weird. It is weird. It's crazy because, like you say, in North Carolina, I can tell the whole backstory about me moving to North Carolina, but there are a number of influential people who they don't think they're influential. When I say influential, it's like they mean a lot. And you calling me Dr. Lawhorn, but you knew me before. It was just Lawhorn.
Yeah,
right?
Just Lawhorn,
prior
man.
to any degrees or whatever. But y'all saw me like grinding. Like I was grinding as an educator, as a musician, like just trying to find my way. Like, how do I do this thing? I was trying to practice a lot, or was practicing a lot. Y'all was seeing me drive back and forth to school. I was driving
3 times a week.
Like I was getting it, but then it was like it's those people that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Like I know we just talked about it off camera, but like the JCs, the Terrys, the Reggies, like, and then you had like Gerard and Jeff, and then you think about people that was right there. Quintel, Quest. I could go down the line.
Man, long list of people I ain't seen in a long time, man.
Them people, and then like the 09 class, my crowd,
your year, your year.
Them peoples, and then like the Marcuses and the Zays, and then you and Chris. There's probably a good like 20, 25 people that came through the drumline that it's like I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for y'all.
Yeah.
And like I try to get y'all the flowers, while it's day, because I don't want people to be like, I know the whole thing happened. We'll probably talk about it, with me leaving Central, but it was like, man, it was my people's. Like, them was my people's. Like,
yeah, nah, man. Hey, you remember when you told me like when you was the two things was when we found out y'all was leaving, but then when I found out you was coming here, bro. You remember that? We was in the weight room. We was lifting. Hey, bro, I had to just like walk off. I like, bro, come on, bro. Of all places, like.
But look, it wasn't okay. Just being this is a fake podcast, so we can be real.
Yeah,
right?
nah,
okay,
yeah.
So let's be real.
Nothing is fake about it.
It's just you downplaying what you got going on.
Yeah, kind of.
So the whole story of me coming to A&T, it all starts with Charles Connor, right? Chuck. He was a band director at Hope County.
Okay.
So,
wait. Before we get into this, I feel like I gotta give you like your proper introduction though, like to where the people know exactly who you are and exactly what you do. In terms, I know we done already said A&T, which is out there, bro, in Oklahoma. I remember the first time. Like, I seen, like, this middle school drumline, and this is right when I moved out there. I go up to the instructor. I'm like, yo, man, like, I played on a drumline in college, whatever. Like, from North Carolina. He was like, oh, did you go to NCAT? I was like, it's like NCAT. I was like, what is that?
That NCAT
It's
thing
like
just
NCAT. I was like, and I was like, nah. I was like, nah, I went to North Carolina Central. He was like, oh, so did y'all ever play, like, NCAT? I'm like, who is NCAT? And I'm sitting here like, NCAT. I'm like, oh, you mean A&T? It's like, yeah. I was like, oh, you used to watch them scrubs, bro. Like, yeah. Like, bro, it was just, man, that joke had me so thrown off because I'm like, NCAT? Like, who is that?
I don't know who created this NCAT thing. I understand you see NC A&T and you just imagine like N and then cat, but that, because then like the culture, bro. Like you can't say somebody's cat, right? Like they cat, meaning like they saw.
Yeah.
Like, bro, cat, you know what I mean? Especially like in Greekdom or whatever, people like, oh, bro, cat. Like, nah, don't do that. So when people like in cat, like, no, A&T or T or that's all. That's the only things you can say. Like,
yeah,
that in cat kills me. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. But man, I just wanted to be able to give you a proper chance to like really introduce yourself though, and tell them like what you do here, like who you are in terms of like percussion, band, all of this, man. So like your titles, I guess.
I'm just a little skinny black dude from Fort Worth, man. No, that's why I always tell people just to keep it as a realist, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that I've been able to accomplish some stuff professionally, musically, and stuff like that. But officially, my name is Dr. Lamon Lawhorn. I serve as Assistant Director of Bands here at North Carolina A&T State University. Assistant Director of Bands of the Blue and Gold Marching Machine. Oversee all percussion activities within the program, but I will nowhere near take credit for all that we do. I just happen to be the person that oversees, what we do percussion-wise. I do oversee the media team. I handle a lot of the recruitment activities. A lot of stuff. It's cool.
That's a long list.
Conduct wind ensemble or symphonic band, and it's cool. It's cool.
That's what's up, man. So,
I'm sorry. I also I serve on the board of directors for the Percussive Arts Society. Currently serve as secretary for the executive committee. We're shifting positions. I'll be, I believe it's first vice next. Charge to my head, not my heart. But yeah, I'm on the executive committee. It's a 10-year commitment, and then I believe in like 6 to 8 years I'll be PAS president. So when you think about what's PAS, Percussive Arts Society, think about the basics. You think about the basic 26 and 40 rudiments. There's a society of percussion that decided this is what we should be playing. So it's a society for everything percussion involved, and thankful to definitely be a part of that as well.
I'm laughing because I didn't know that you were like that high up in PASIC now.
Yeah.
Or not, I guess it's not PASIC. Is PASIC like the name of it, or is that just the name of the
PAS is, and this is great we're talking about this because a lot of people get it misunderstood. So PAS is the Percussive Arts Society. PASIC is PAS International Convention.
Okay.
So PASIC is what we talk about because it's the yearly convention for the organization, and sometimes PASIC can seem bigger than PAS. because it's what everybody wants to go to, but nobody sees like the behind the scenes work or the monthly or weekly or daily work that PAS does. But PASIC is a convention of PAS.
Now, I was laughing when you were saying all of that because I remember when you were like first. No, it might not even been like first going, but you would like make it a big deal. Like, but I'm going to PASIC. Like, yo, now this is, you know, it was first you was going, and then you know you went out there and you had to be networking like crazy, and then you know we ended up getting some deals off of that. Like, you know, we got some gear, and then you know you look up 10 years later, and you know, hey. You're gonna be the man over there.
And it's a cool thing. And the reason why I was so big on PASIC is because when I went as a first year master student, I remember being in undergrad. My bad. Get it out the way anyway. I remember being in undergrad and wondering where my professor was going. He was like, I'm going to this thing, you know. And as a percussion major, I was always trying to, you know, figure out how can I get better and stuff like that. And so ended up joining PAS, and I put a question in like the group chat forum. And I'll never forget Gary Cook, who was a professor out in Arizona, and Bill Morsh, who's the professor in University of Illinois, who were really big percussion programs, answered the question. And I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? I could talk to these people. So then when I got to Ole Miss, that's where I went for my master's program. My professor was like, no, you're going to PASIC. Save your money, all this stuff. And when I got there, man, my eyes just open to the world of percussion because I felt like I was a big fish in a small pond at Prairie View. But then you understand that, like, once you see what the world is doing, you realize how far behind you are, but you're also inspired to go out and get it. Yeah. Man, I met Vic Firth, like the Vic Firth. I met Remo Belly, like the Remo. Like,
dang, I didn't even know that was...
Yeah, this is a person.
I didn't even know that was a person.
These are actual people, right? And so I was going about like meeting all of these famous players. I met Dave Weckl.
Yeah, legend.
I met. It's hard to say how many like people that I came in contact with, but somebody that many people not aware of, but this guy named Ed Thickpen. He was a legendary jazz drummer, and I just grabbed some brush. He was doing this brush technique thing, and you can go by and see people doing stuff, and he was like, "Hey, come in, little dude just walking around like that." Man, he gave me this lesson for like 30 minutes, and for the rest of the convention, every time he saw me, he pulled me to the side. And when I say he's talking to people, presidents of companies, and he saw me, he brushed him to the side. Hey, come talk to me. So I met so many people. As he's talking about networking, I really learned how to be a professional percussionist just by meeting different people. And I also met the older generation of black percussionists, and they like took me under their wing. I met some mentors like Pedro Ore at Bethune. I met
so you met Johnny Lee Lane?
But I met Johnny Lane when I was at Prairie View.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because I'm like Johnny Lane's grandfather he's like my grandfather in percussion because my professor, Larry Jones at Prairie View, studied with Johnny Lane when he was at Eastern Illinois.
I didn't know that.
And then Ricky Burkhead, who was at Ole Miss, studied with Johnny Lane when he was at Eastern Illinois.
Oh, so that's your connect to Ole Miss.
No, my connect to, yeah. And when I was at Prairie View, my professor, Prof. Jones, he used to tell me, hey, well, think about this school, Ole Miss. And I'm like, man, I ain't going out to Mississippi. Who going to Ole Miss? Like,
knowing the history there?
What I look like going to Ole Miss? You know, like, what I look like going to Ole Miss. And so when I went on the audition at Ole Miss, like, Ricky Burkhead, he laid everything out there for me. I could go into a whole story about that whole audition, but he made it seem like a private lesson and not an audition.
Yeah. And
so I was like, oh, I'm feeling it here. And so I was like, I can study with another black percussionist. And so when I got out there, I soaked up everything. Before going to Ole Miss, one of my professors, Dr. White at Prairie View, said, you need to research who James Meredith is. James Meredith was the first black student admitted to Ole Miss. Right.
Yeah.
And so I studied and realized, like, who is this dude? Okay. I figured out what was going on and realized what was going on through the research. And then my first year at Ole Miss, a statue was erected in his honor of him attending the university. And I went to that ceremony. And it was at that moment I was like, if he had to go through all of this to go to school, then I need to put my best foot forward while I'm here. And that's why I just tried to grind it out. I ended up being like the first percussionist to win the concerto competition for the department. I was the first black person to win the concerto competition, all of this stuff. I was shooting for grad student of the year, but they was like, well, you won the concerto competition. They're going to give it to somebody else. You can't win everything.
Oh, you can't win both. One of them type deals.
But it's cool. I understand that. You know what I mean? So, you know, the whole tree. So both Larry Jones and Ricky Burkhead studied with Johnny Lane. And I met Johnny Lane prior to going to Ole Miss at a clinic he was doing. He was like, I heard about you. I'm keeping my eye on you. So and this is coming full circle. So when I got to Ole Miss, he used to always tell Burkhead, like, make sure you're ready. Get him ready. And so when I graduated, Jordan Reed, who was at Central, reached out to Johnny Lane or about anybody who he knew that was you know, open for positions or whatever. He was like, well, this guy named Teddy Hall, who graduated from Ole Miss too, but Teddy wasn't active like that. And so they was like, well, there's another guy, Lamon Lawhorn. He's younger, but he just graduated. You may want to reach out to him. So then I got in connect with Reed, had the whole conversation about things like that. But it took me a full year to get out to Central. Because I graduated, I thought I was this big dude, you know, big-headed dude. Man, you can't tell me nothing. Black dude with a master's, man, you don't know nobody like that. Man, I got humbled quick because it didn't work out. I ended up moving back home to Fort Worth, and I was substitute teaching for a full year.
I remember that.
And it was the best thing for me because it humbled me, and it also helped me realize that you're dealing with different people and different age groups and different mindsets on a daily. Like one day I would go teach elementary music. The next day I'm high school math substitute. The next day I'm something else at the middle school. Yeah. And they be tripping at middle school. Like, if you're a middle school teacher, you somebody important. Like you somebody special because that middle school age, they be tripping. But it just helped me, you know, frame my mindset and deal with classroom management, which is why once I got to Central, I had this mindset of I can deal with anybody. Yeah. And I can deal with any situation because I've been in every situation.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of situations.
There was a whole lot of situations.
In Durham.
And it was like, honestly, you know, I was dealing with little kids, but college is just big kids.
Yeah.
It's just big kids.
Really? Because we all still childish.
Yeah, I mean, real childish.
Very.
But then I'm childish too, so it was a bad situation too. Because I'm still childish. Like I'm a child at heart. I got my own kids, little ones, but I'm still childish. You got to be. You got to have some humor. Bro. A day without laughter and a day without learning is a day wasted.
I like that. Yeah, that's facts, man. So let's talk about like when you first get to Central as the percussion instructor, what is that like? Like had you ever been to North Carolina before, like prior to that entire ordeal where you're introduced to Reed or Reed, you know, you and Reed had that conversation. Had you ever even been out here to kind of see what it was like, or did you have an understanding of what the drum or percussion world was in this area of the country, being from Fort Worth, going to PV, where's the SWAC? Like, you know, now you talking about a entirely different me at school where the band, I don't even know if it's like the band culture is different, but the drumline culture is definitely it's a little different.
Okay, so I think I'm tailor made for every situation I'm in because, not to get all spiritual or anything like that, I consider myself spiritual, not necessarily religious. Religions have boundaries, but spirituality allows you to have connection with, you know, you believe for Father and stuff like that. So I believe I've had God favor on me ever since I was a kid. And so they say the will of God won't take you anywhere where the grace of God won't protect you. So coming to Central was an ideal situation for me. I didn't know nothing about North Carolina at all. I knew it was on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time. That's it. When it came to what the drumline was about, I didn't know anything about anything East Coast at all. All I knew was fam, MEAC. They sound good because they can control their real musical. That's all I knew about East Coast or MEAC.
And now fam is in the SWAC. Look,
when I say I know nothing about nothing, only thing I knew about was percussion and teaching. And being, I want to be politically correct and make sure I don't say the wrong things. But I'm a black dude.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah.
I'm a black dude. I grew up in humble beginnings. Let me say that much.
Yeah.
So don't let the doctor or the titles fool you. I came from a lot of the same upbringings as the students that I was teaching. So
you related to us.
I related to you through experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got to Central, my eyes were open because it was like, this is what I want to do. I want to teach college. You know what I mean? I had my goals to where I wanted to teach, but the fact that I was teaching college is what I wanted to do. I'm doing what I wanted to do, so let me put my best foot forward. And I remember the first meeting with the whole Drumline, and it was, I walked in there and Reed was trying to give me all of these accolades, and you can listen to what he gonna say and all this stuff.
And this is 09?
This is 09. Everybody's in the room, right? And I say, how y'all doing? I'm Lamon Lawhorn, and, you know, I've done this and this. I've gone to Ole Miss. I did the concerto competition. I marched at Prairie Views in the box. Did this. We performed here. I've won this and won this and won this. Put that aside. Who gonna test me? Because we can handle it like this right now in private, or when we get out these walls, it's gonna be a public scene. So we can do this right now, but just know if I lose today, every time I see you, we're gonna go at it until I win.
Hey, and I knew this was gonna come up, and I was prepared to say this later on. But one, I don't know if you still have that policy, right? You're a little older now, you know, I don't know. But I always respected that. Like, that part about you, because, now granted, it never happened while I was there, but it was like, if there is a problem, open door policy.
It's an absolute open door policy, because I'm never gonna, and the reason why I say testing me is because I'm big on respect.
Yeah.
I give it way before I receive it. So I'm never gonna do anything to intentionally disrespect you. And when I say, I don't know what all I can say on the podcast, I don't know how real I could be, but I always say, man, like I say y'all suck, y'all sorry all the time. Like, if you're gonna be a motivator, right, you're gonna get motivated. You're motivated one or two ways. If somebody says you're sorry or you suck or you're not good, you can either say, I'm going to prove you. You can either say, man, I really do suck, man. You know what? You know, just ruin my whole mindset and thoughts, and, you know, now I really suck and I can't do things. Or you can say, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Every time.
Every time. So I'm always like, y'all sorry. Snares messed up on this. Tenors did this. Bass, you got bad units and hits. That run wasn't clean, all that stuff. But there was never a time where I was like, you, snare number 1, 2, 3, you suck.
Yeah.
You, Johnny Dash, Bruce, you you suck. Right? There was never a time where I was like, hey, you, bro, like, you right now, you suck, right? Because now I'm disrespecting you.
As a person, as
a person.
Yeah.
And that's not what I do. I'll pull you to the side and be like, say, bro, like, you know you was tripping. You was kind of trash. You know, in just our casual conversation. But in the midst of me in my element, knowing how I am when we at rehearsal and I'm so focused and serious, I still never crossed that line where I'm like, bro, you suck. Now, I may say some things like, hey, you need to bring that out of you because right now you are sucking. But I'm never trying to belittle anybody.
Right, and diminish
them at all. And so when I got to Central, I think me coming off like that, and the crazy part is JC was like, man, I still remember that conversation. I was going to go at it because, you know, I box now. Ain't nobody scared of you. But the fact that you was like, every time you see me, we got to fight again. I was like, man, I ain't gonna know how to deal with this every time I see you.
Every time, nah.
Cause I'm gonna win, cause I don't ever want nobody to be like, yeah, man, I beat you up. No, cause I'm still gonna be like, well, remember, I got you though.
Yeah.
Cause you be like, but I beat you 100 times, yeah, but I still got you.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Like, that was it. So going into it, I knew I could teach. I knew I could play. I did not have the best chops, and I still don't have the best chops. But my philosophy is, as a teacher, I should be able to motivate every student. So what I did was try to always play or perform for everybody, so they could see, oh, okay, he kind of got it. You know what I mean? He kind of got it. And so my whole thing was to just elevate whatever was going on. So for that first year, I was quiet. And when I say quiet, as far as implementing things that I wanted to do, because I'm real observant. And Central wasn't bad when I got there.
Yeah, no,
it wasn't like me walking into a situation and we got to start all over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I got to build something from scratch. Like, Central was already good because, you know, Kev and everybody, they had it going. All I was doing was analyzing percussion problems or ways to improve and do that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to change how y'all play, but the way you're playing right now can cause injuries in the future. Okay, when you go home, does this hurt? Yeah, bro. It's because you're doing X, Y, Z. I mean, you know why y'all dirty? Well, when we be hitting it, well, okay, there's a way to hit it to make sure we sound cleaner. But that's what I'm fixing. I'm not saying, nah, I'm finna change the tuning. I'm finna do this. I had to learn the tuning because it was way more aggressive back then. Like, and the material that they played fit the tuning of what it was back there. So I just learned a lot.
I'm sure the entire group text will agree with what you just said, bro. That's still, bro, to this day. When did you leave? 2014?
14.
So what's that, 8 years?
Yeah.
To this day, that is still a topic of conversation,
like you can't play stuff like Elemento and QJ and some of the stuff, even like Malaboka. It's like it just don't hit as hard or as aggressive with really high tune stuff. Yeah. Like you can, like at that time, like the drums sounded like Durham. You know what I mean? Like it didn't sound like Durham. It sounded like Durham. Like we know what Durham is. You know what I mean? Like bruh, yeah, bruh, yeah, bruh. Like and the way the line was set up then, like the drums and the sound of the drums matched the intensity of every individual player. We wasn't trying to sound we wasn't sound tonally like Norfolk. We wasn't trying to sound militaristic like Southern or Jackson. Like the way they drum sound, like Central had its own distinct sound,
individual sound,
and we wasn't changing it. I wasn't changing it so much so that I tried to reach out to old heads to be like, how do you do this? Like I can't tell you how many times I had Kev come down and be like, bro, like tune these drums.
Shout out to Kev, man.
Like Kev still, man. Look, Kev is a
genius. Genius, bro.
Like I say, one of them people that I have so much respect for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reason why is because he respected me. And the people that show respect off gate, like, let me hear what he got to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he not bad. Some people just have this this mentality that whatever I do is right, and whatever else we got going on, I don't care what you got to say. Like, listen, let me hear you out first. Now you're talking, oh, yeah, that's dumb. Or, you know what, I can learn something from that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like, I did not try to change Central at all. That was not my goal. My goal was to see where you're at, and let's go from there.
So, let's skip forward.
Okay.
Like, what is this, 2 years? My freshman year?
Okay.
All right. You remember our first, like, real conversation?
I vaguely remember you, like, this is going to be funny, like, hanging around the band like a stray. Like, wanting to come. And I was like, you play? He was like, oh, something like that.
So, all right, rewind it to the summertime. I remember I called you, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to march or nothing like that. Like, I'm just not going to be in the band. And you was just like, all right, like, cool. Dude, this is my first week on campus. Actually, no, it's not my first week because I was there very, very, very early, like right after high school. I went to school. But, like, the first week in the fall, y'all having band camp. Matter of fact, I don't even know if band camp had fully, like, set in all the way. But I'm walking through campus, and I think I get by the calf. You know, B&, Duke is right there. Mm-hmm. And I just hear the drums. Bro, I take off running like, yo, where's the, like, and I'm sitting in the back, and this is the first time I see Dark. Bro, of all people, Dark is the first person I have an interaction with. And Dark was like, what's up, man? You play? I was like, yeah, like I played in high school, like, yeah. He's like, all right, wait right here. And then, bro, you pop up. And mind you, bro, Dark is, like, when you say Durham, like, Dark is Durham. All the way through and through, bro. Like, shout out to Dark, man. Like,
light skin, shout out light skin.
Man. Dog, and it was just like, you trying to play? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got some sticks? Nah. He's like, yeah, it'd be $10. Like, bro, wait a minute. What you mean $10?
Oh, like, you gonna pay for these sticks.
What you mean $10? Hey, man, for that moment right there, like, I'm forever glad I said yes. Like,
it was just a conversation, like on Facebook. It was like somebody posted like, if you say you're gonna march your second year, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I said it's probably like less than 5% of people that say they're gonna march their second year participate. And then they spend like their whole freshman year saying, yeah, I wish I would have played, or they end up regretting because they didn't participate. And by the time you're a junior, it's not the time to join the band.
Late.
Like it's not. I mean, if you want to, cool, do it. But by that time, you should have done something that to have you attached to the university. You know what I mean? So yeah, joining the band that late.
Only person I know, the only person I can think of who did that was Shamir. I know he came in as a sophomore.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anybody else skipping a freshman year on campus and then coming in later.
I think Chris did. Yeah.
Chris, okay.
Chris did. Yeah.
I wasn't there when Chris first. What year did he come in?
He came in. He came in with JC actually.
And
but I think something happened with him in school, and I don't know if he was full-time Central back and forth, but yeah. So wait a minute. He may have graduated in 07, but he didn't. I don't know if he came to Central then.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Man, so dude, I always tell people, like, whenever I speak on my band experience, and which is really crazy because I talk about it, but most people who know me now don't know that I like marched in a band, that I was in a drumline, all that. I tell people, like, bro, that was some of the best times. Like it was hard, but dog, it was so much, like, it was fun. It was crazy, but it was fun. Like, I still remember that first game was in Cleveland.
Oh,
like,
man.
Cleveland had a lot of us, but it had a really, really bad down to start off.
So like I literally so we had 2-day rehearsal this past weekend. Our 2 days, we literally bring upperclassmen and incoming students back for midsummer rehearsal. And one of the things I said before we ended, and I said, okay, upperclassmen, you're gonna put the drums away for the last time. And freshmen, you need to watch and see how they put the drums away, because it's now going to be your responsibility to put the drums away. Upperclassmen, you cannot be mad at them if you didn't show them how to do what it is they need to do. And what happened in Cleveland was what happened was the drums was left.
No. It was the harnesses. We had all the drums. We didn't have all the harnesses.
Harnesses was left, right? And so the upperclassman is going in on the freshman. Man, why y'all leave this water? And I stop and I say, this is our first game and the first away game. Who showed them how to load stuff?
Bro.
Who showed them what needed to be packed and what not needed to be packed?
Look. All we knew. And it was crazy, like, because you see the movie, right? And people ask me all the time, like, how was, like, being in the drumline compared to the movie? I'm like, some stuff is like kind of similar, but it's exaggerated. But the one thing that isn't is freshmen cleaning, freshmen making sure drums is put up right. Like every day we had to put up somebody else's drum. Every day you had to make sure they was nice and in order. Like they need to be like this every day. And if we come in and they not like this,
we got a problem.
It's a problem.
So get it down.
It's a problem. Man. It's a problem. We gonna talk about that too. It's a problem. Like, dude, we drive from Durham, North Carolina to Cleveland, Ohio for the first game of the season of my freshman year, playing in the Cleveland Browns Stadium. Bro, we know nothing. We very green. I'm 17. Hey, we get there, they like, hey, missing my harness. Hey, I'm missing my harness. Hey, I'm missing my harness. We like, oh, bruh. And I think the only freshman bases was me, Goose, and Curtis. And bro, we all looking at each other like, dog, who left? Like, hey, bro, like, and you know, at this time we ain't together yet. We still really just don't even really know each other. Y'all made us hang out all the time. We like, well, we don't really know these people for real. We like, man. Hey, Kurt, Like, hey Kurt, bro, you look
It wasn't nothing
but
you could do.
we don't know. Like, we don't know what we don't know. And ain't nobody really show us. They were just like, hey, put the drums on the thing. Like,
All the drums is there.
All the drums. Cool. Fam, that was bad. But the night in Cleveland, man, hey, shout out to Cleveland.
Hey, oh man. Okay, shout out to
Shout
Cleveland.
out to Cleveland. Look, I'm a save it. Hey, first away trip, bro. 17, bro. In college, bro. Hey, shout out to Cleveland, man.
I ain't thought about Cleveland in a long time.
Bro, I ain't been back to Cleveland yet. I ain't been to the state of Ohio since then. But man,
yeah. Shout out to my aunt too. I have aunt in Cleveland. She came to see. That was the first time I was able to see her in a very long time. So
that's what's up, man. Dude, fast forward my sophomore year, which is a year that I thought we had probably the best potential in mind, but we had numbers too. We had a very, very
was that Rocky
large.
Mount year?
No, that was the year before me.
Okay,
that was 2010. This was Mike Tilley year, but like the Mike Tilley year where your current line. This is the Jeff moment, bro. This is the Jeff moment year, dog. I need that video, man. Who got the video? Okay. Who got the video of Jeff? Every time I hear I don't like, bro, I think of Jeff. For that very, very reason, bro. Question, where is Jeff's video? I need that, bro. I need that, dog. And they ran in Hillside Bedroom. They scared.
Okay, so
they was in our hometown and ran in Hillside Bedroom. They scared, bro. They scared of DOA. Them niggas scared. Them niggas scared. Them niggas scared. Listen to me. They scared, bro.
So the Mike Tilley situation happened.
Oh man!
As a result of the fall, because it was Aggie Eagle here in Aggie Stadium.
I forgot about
and
that.
So
forgot about
Cold
that.
Steel is not going to participate in anything that's beneath them. I have a different philosophy, personally.
Yeah.
My philosophy is anybody can get
Anybody can get it.
It don't matter if it's elementary school, community line, middle school.
It don't matter.
If you bold enough to step in front of us, then you can catch it. The philosophy I was given, the quote I was given is, it's like the common cold.
Anybody can get it.
Anybody
can get it.
So at that year, Cold Steel is a large drum line. You know what I mean? But that year, Central had numbers.
Yeah,
we were
huge
literally
numbers.
like the size of Cold Steel. Maybe they was larger, but we had like maybe
10 snares.
It was
5 tenors, 3 quints.
It was
a whole bunch of cymbals.
It was good.
8 basses.
We had the Aggie Eagle. Make a long story short, Aggie Eagle Cold Steel called us out like multiple times not in a disrespectful way,
no,
but it was the percussion, the drumline way to call somebody out. And then they took it further. They literally turned around, came towards our side, and blocked up and played cadence. Oh, okay, it's time to go. I'm telling line, hey, let's go.
Ready, like this what we've been waiting. Go. This the last game of the year.
Let's go.
We ready.
And then I look at Reed, and he was like, no. I'm like,
to this day, man, that hurt.
I say,
that hurt. I forgot about that, but that hurt.
JC was just looking like, I was like, man, dang, disappointment. And then after the game, they blocked up in the middle of the field.
In the middle of the field, bro.
And played again. So I'm like, okay, it's cool. It's cool.
Do you remember that went viral? Like that went viral before like going viral was a thing. Like somebody posted that clip on YouTube. They're playing on the field. We're in the stands. Just looking. And we can't do nothing. What we gonna do? We gonna not listen to the you not gonna listen to your boss? Insubordination.
Right.
Like,
and the crazy part is I later learned like Reed looked at Rolly and was like, should I let him go? He was like, yeah. It's like,
for real?
Too late. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Shout out to Rolly, man. I just found Rolly on Facebook like 2 weeks ago, bro. I ain't seen Rolly in forever.
You're not gonna find Rolly if he don't want you to.
Yeah, bro. So, I just found. I was like, dang, bro. I ain't seen bro in forever,
he's
man.
Doing really good. He's doing really good. Shout out to my bro.
Still swole. Hey,
bro. Yeah, and so I never forgot that. So we went into the spring knowing that we was gonna be able to play, and then when we found out they would be at Mike Tilley, I was just like, they not gonna come out here without getting this work. They gonna get this work. I'd be damn if they come to Durham, right down the street.
Down the street, hillside, bro.
They gonna catch it. And so the whole preparation for that was just they gonna catch it. They gonna catch it.
Do you remember though? We were supposed to go first. And then they switch because the plan was we go first, we leave the band room, we outside the band room. When you walk out, you don't have no choice. If you walk past us, that's everything you need to.
Yeah.
And then somehow, but do you know the story behind how that flipped? How they ended up going first?
I don't know, because to this day we still go last.
That's crazy, bro. So that's the only time Coach Stanley ever
that I know of. But this is
whack, man.
But I've also learned too, like it was I think it was a staff decision because the line really wanted to play. But I can't.
Who saved them, bro?
Who
saved you? I know you working now. Who saved them? Was it?
Asking the wrong person, the wrong question.
Man, somebody saved them that day. Because we still blocked up and played.
We did.
And all of them walking by with no drum, like, what? Like, man. Dog, man, but the tough. Jeff moment, bro, was hilarious, dog. Like, I really, really need that video. Like, and I talk. It's crazy because I do talk to Jeff like every now and then. Like, I tap in with Jeff and we'll just kind of talk life, a bunch of financial stuff, man. Like, Jeff be real tapped in on it, man. But even going back further, I think it might have been something my freshman year I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember what it was. But sophomore year, that was the year. Was that that was the year? Okay, so that was the year that whole thing went down with the little, I don't know what we want to call it.
It was 2012.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the issue in the band room after practice, after a Friday practice. Look, man, I'm gonna just say I've seen a lot of fights in my life. I ain't never seen a girl get beat up that bad by another girl, bro. Like, I know you wasn't in there, but Lawhorn, you know, I mean, statute of limitations. We done all got in trouble for it already, bro. Yeah. Beat this, bro.
Okay, statute of limitations.
Look,
let's
man,
only put that out there.
Look, like when I say got hands, bro, was feeding that girl hands, and there was nothing we could do to stop it.
Well, but that you got to think where that came from, though. Been through a lot at that time.
Yeah, a whole lot.
She had got suspended. Well, she was put on academic probation. Not to put your stuff out there, but hey, we good. Like, she was on academic probation, and she was trying to tell everybody her story about what it costs to try to come back from that.
Yeah.
And so when she was telling a freshman or whatever, like, hey, make sure you're on top of your grades. Because, I used to always be like, go to class.
Go to class, yeah.
Go to class. Make sure you go to class. And she was telling everybody to go to class, because if you don't, you're going to have to do this and this and this and this. And then the girl turned it against her, like tried to like use that against her and play her. And this is what I'm hearing, because all I know is I got a phone call at like 1 a.m. from Chuck, and he was like, "Hey man, what's going on?"
Because the girl went to
yeah. And so all I know is we come back the next day, and I pull everybody in the office that was involved. I asked the girl what happened. She told me what happened. I was like, did you damage the girl's car? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay. Did she hit you? Yeah. Did you hit her? Yeah. Okay. It's a fight. It's not hazing, right?
Yeah, no hazing involved. Right, it was an altercation between two people.
That's what I just wanted to get the borderline thing, ask everybody what's going on. Okay, cool. I said, okay, you're going to sit out this game. But she had to sit out for multiple reasons. She was not good. First and foremost.
Yeah, it wasn't good. She missed the Friday practice.
Yes.
That was the rule. If you miss Friday practice, you don't go, you can't play in the game. If you're late for Saturday morning kickoff, you sit for the first half, I think.
Yeah. And that rule still applies.
That was the rule.
Yeah.
So she missed Friday practice. Whatever your cause is, bro, the rule is you don't play. And that was really what they started arguing about. That was like the entire origin of that argument.
And so we're at the Elon game. You got to sit down. Boom, cool. I thought everything was cool. We get back.
That was Saturday.
That was
like,
Saturday.
Fight happens Friday night.
Saturday we have the game. Everything is fine. I
Sunday,
explain everything what is going on. Sunday, a phone call is made.
But even before that though, let me say this. Sunday, I think it was Bleacher Report. You remember that article? They said top 10 drumlines in college football.
Oh yeah.
And we were number 10.
Yeah,
and A&T wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
So we was on like a super high. Like yeah.
So this is 2012. Mind you, I got married in 2012. So I just got married that early year.
Which is your anniversary is tomorrow. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. 10 years in the game. Shout out, baby, love you. So my wife's parents are coming up there. We play Duke.
Yeah, that was next week. Yep.
It was next week. So Monday, we get a call. We need everybody to come in, figuring out, like, what's going on. You know what I mean? We got an allegation of hazing. What? And whose drumline? Like, because I know when it was happened overnight. Like, no, there was a fight. Okay. Drumline suspended. Until when? Because we got a game this weekend.
Yeah, bro.
To win.
That was the most, oh my
goodness. Like, oh, y'all got to go. So I got to go in there and tell the drumline, we suspended. Boom. Lawhorn, you got to go too. For what? Because your name came up as well. As well as what? Involved in hazing or allowing hazing to happen.
What? All right, this is stuff I didn't know.
Yeah. So,
and it's crazy because you weren't there, but this was, and I don't know how they consider like. Well,
let's talk about why I wasn't there. I wasn't there because I just got married, and Friday nights we would always kick it and tune drums. We would always kick it. I would either buy food, buy pizza. I was buying Bojangles. Tune and clean. That's what we doing.
Friday nights.
And this is everybody, not just freshmen. Like, this is everybody. And I was like, hey, y'all, it's like 10:30, 10:45. I'm going to be out of here by 11:30. I got to go home. Y'all got it? Yeah, we got it. I trust you. That's why I left. So typically I could have been, I was irresponsible for leaving or whatever. But I trusted everybody because we'd done this years prior, and everybody know this ain't a situation where it's a freshman, upperclassman aggressing like that. No, we just chilling.
Yeah, everybody. This was like probably the most chill interaction we would have.
This is what we do. Like, it's Friday. Like, put all that aside.
Put
like,
music
we just
on.
chilling.
Be down there kicking it.
It's kicking it. So for the line to be suspended, we play Duke. No, the line can't come to the game.
But we had to buy tickets.
And then it was like, Lawhorn, you got to go, and you can't come on campus because you're suspended. If you come on campus, you could be arrested for trespassing. Whoa. Wow.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So I had to go in and do all these investigations. I was suspended for like 4 weeks, like a month.
Yeah.
It was,
because I think we were suspended for like 2 weeks.
It was a wild time. Like, it was a wild situation. And that situation kind of gave me a premise of what was going to happen further down the line with my exit. Because it came to my knowledge that, things were being done behind the scenes that was like a precursor to me leaving. Or not necessarily say, I'm trying to frame it in the right way. People showed their hands. Put it like that. People showed who they really were in those situations. And the only reason why I was not suspended or not fired, literally fired, because I had a reprimand in my file from the university that said I allowed hazing to happen. And what was the hazing? Push-ups. I remember the push-ups.
Dang,
but
that's
people
crazy,
didn't realize I was doing the push-ups.
Yeah, you was doing the push-ups every time. Like, there was never a time where I'm down here dying on my 500 push-up that I look up and you ain't did 500 too.
So that's why it caught me fully off guard to say I allow physical activity to happen as a form of hazing, even though I was doing them with them. Which is why I did it with them, so nobody could say I was forcing people to do stuff, because, yeah.
And part of it, man, was also like, we were as much as you were there, we were also self-governing at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, hold your own, like, we all got accountability. If you late, like, regardless of what reason, because at the time, because that Monday when we had the meeting, I was late because I always got out of class at 3:50, But my class was across campus. So I was always late Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But if you show up, you 10 minutes late, knock out a cool 25, hop in line, and, you know what I'm saying? And we good.
Yeah.
But it's like because I think everybody had to go do an interview. I know I had to go do one. And all my answers was, I don't know what that means. I don't know who that is. Like, what is this? I don't even know. Are you I don't know nothing. Man, look, it felt like first 48, bro.
Hey, that was in there getting it.
I don't know nothing. But it was like, well, who made you do push-ups? Ain't nobody make me do them. I just did them because I was late as a form of, holding myself accountable. But that was how we were self-governing. Like, if you mess up, like, it would be times where an individual might mess up on the part, and once we done, hit your 25 and get back up and get in line. Like, so for that to be said, man, I thought the whole thing was kind of blown out of proportion. I mean, if you wanted to interview about, like, all right, what happened that night, fine. Like, I can get that. And this is all in retrospect, man. This is 10 years ago. But to say, like, that incident was a form of hazing. No, it was two people who got into it, which I guess is against, I was going to say company policy, against school, whatever. Like, cool. But, yeah, man, they was tripping on that one.
Hard. But, hey, we live and learn. We live and learn.
Facts. So, all right, so 2012, man, we end up coming back. We do the whole Mike Tilley situation. 13 was like the first, and it's crazy because it was a down year, but it wasn't. Like, numbers shrunk, but the drumline, we was still
numbers started to get smaller, but the individual talent ability was still there.
Yeah,
and I think people started to look at the line differently because it was small and not necessarily the quality of what's taking place. But then this also started to mirror what was going on with the band.
Because the band shrunk very drastic.
Also, you got to think 2013 is also the potential change of band directors, too. You got to think about it.
You know what? I forgot all about that.
You can never forget about that.
I forgot. I really did. I forgot. I forgot that was what happened.
Yeah.
What other situation was like that I can relate that to? I don't know. All I remember is that was a big issue. I forgot all about that, bro.
Yeah. What's crazy is the incident that we just talked about in 2012 started the snowball of everything. Like, literally started the snowball of everything. And this is stuff that nobody knows, like stuff behind the scene and everything like that. But administratively and staff-wise, like, the viewpoint of who we are, where we are, who we work for, who we work with, changed. Because it's like, the saying is, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them, yeah.
We had to believe them at that point. And then it just got crazy. Like, just internally, it just got crazy. It's like, wow, really? Okay. And I felt like from like mid 2013 on, definitely in 2014, my focus was just primarily on the drumline. It used to be just the whole, and I still interact with people in the band and stuff like that. But my primary focus was like, let me make sure I provide the best experience for these people that I primarily oversee. I can't control nothing else. I'm gonna control what I can control, and let's do as well as we can.
And man, to be honest, because like, and I felt, looking back, I kind of feel, I don't know if I feel bad, but I feel like I probably didn't give. I wasn't I don't think I was a good bandsman. Like, I wasn't pro band. I was pro drumline. Like, I was like, all right, bro, we DOA, and I'm gonna focus on DOA, and the band, like, it's the band, we part of it, but I'm really focusing on DOA.
Well,
like,
I think because, and I've heard this from a lot of students, like, I had some, okay, I ain't gonna. We had some students who left A&T, and not left Central and came to A&T.
Yeah,
right?
okay, I know what you're talking about.
And so when I got here, I was like, bro, what happened? You know, just cool. Like me and him to this day are cool. So when I talk about my influential people in Durham, I have my influential people in Greensboro, and he's one of them. So I was like, bro, like, so what happened? He was like, real talk, Lawhorn, I rock with you 1,000%. I could have been in the drumline any day, but I couldn't have been in the band. It was like, it's different. I couldn't be in the drumline backing that band. And it was like, because I used to hear people always say, the drumline experience is totally different than the band experience.
Very different.
And you had people in the drumline just gung-ho like, man, yeah, just like this DOA, you know? But people in the band were just like, man, like, we playing the same songs all the time. Like, the shows just ain't it. It's just all confusing, you know? Whereas drumline, we cranking out material. We got our stuff. We own
rolling.
it.
Well-oiled machine.
Like, and so that was kind of the disparity between people's band experience and drumline experience. And that's unfair. But at the same time,
it's reality.
You have directors, and at that time I was just instructor. I was a percussion instructor. I was working on a need-to-know basis. And I say that because a lot of the stuff that was happening above my knowledge, I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
So I felt like if they really wanted me to know, they told me. Or I learned that if they really wanted me to know, they told me. Otherwise, I was kept in the dark about a lot of stuff. Like, and so I was like, let me just control what I can control. And right now, it's these sticks and mallets and these drums and heads. So let me focus on that. Which is why I think even with smaller numbers, we still made it happen.
Yeah, we was cutting dudes.
And even with on a total percussion standpoint, like I was investing in a lot of people as far as like lessons and stuff, like Sherrod taking drum set lessons, making sure pep band and stuff was straight.
I was taking lessons.
People was taking lessons.
Yeah.
You know, other people were taking lessons. I remember I was still in school, getting really focused. I was doing a lot of working on my last couple classes and things like that. Had recitals to prepare for. So I was like, you know what? I'm not finna stress about the things that I cannot control. Let me focus on what I can do. Percussion ensemble got smaller and stuff. We weren't playing these big, large pieces. Let me focus on that. So that was my mindset, and that's where we went.
I can kind of compare that to, all right, this is my bridge between music and basketball, right? So we condensed, and there was more individual focus. So we just had a workout this past weekend where usually we'll probably be like 10, 15 deep in there, right? Group workouts. You don't necessarily get to go in and dissect small things about their game. Like you can, is like me, I pull them off to the side, say, hey, this is what you need to work on this next rep. Like, try this and see how it feels, see how it works. Cool. Versus we had 4 people in the gym. Free reign to really, really go in and dissect what it is and pinpoint what it is they need to work on. One, because I can focus on you for 3, 4, 5 reps and see, okay, this is what we need to fix.
Yeah.
Versus, well, we got 15 people. We ain't finna get, you gonna get reps, but you ain't getting as many reps if you're just in a small group or one-on-one. Yeah. So that's my bridge into sports, because I know most people watching this is like sports people, I guess.
And it's fine. But, I mean, and so for the people that say like sports and band ain't the same, it is definitely
very
the
similar.
same. And I say that because I just recently watched Mike Tomlin's
the pivot.
thing, like the pivot, and I resonated with that so hard because of how he talked about his intimacy with players. And I'm literally like, if you just change the name coach to director or instructor, like that was like me. You know what I mean? Because I got quotes, I got sayings, I got all this type of things. But at the same time, like, for instance, that I said, you know, there's about 25 people from Durham during that time that I really like lean on. But we probably had like 60 players, 70 to come through. You know what I mean? Everybody didn't take advantage of that closeness, connection, or intimacy that I offered. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Cool, do your thing. I see you. Hey, what's up? But there are certain people that's like, ain't nothing you can't ask me for, because we share that connection. And just as a coach is trying to motivate, you know, their players to play their best, you know, make sure you be consistent with your technique and your form and your routes or your shot or your whatever it is. Instructors or directors got to do that same thing with placement of your fingers and your hands. Make sure you're approaching the drum a certain way. Make sure you're doing certain things with your body that you aren't injuring yourself. Or make sure you're making each rep count. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And there's so many similarities. But yeah, I mean, for the athletic people watching, we athletic. People hoop too. I just don't hoop.
No, I seen. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Man, I ain't gonna judge you, man. I ain't gonna judge you. Even though Texas is like a very, very big basketball like hub. It's all right. Everybody ain't get that.
Hey man,
it's
look,
cool.
I stuck with what got me a Letterman jacket.
Right.
Early on.
Fact. Hey, stick to what you know.
Chill out, man. Chill out.
Stick to what you know.
Let me make it.
Well, dog, so going into your transition, man, from being in Durham to like coming here. Well, I don't know. Do you really want to like dive into like what happened with the whole exit, or I mean, you don't have to if you want to.
It does not bother me one bit to talk about experiences because you learn through your experience and you go through something so that people after you don't have to go through the same thing, right? Children or parents want their kids to grow up a certain way, and it's best that we try to give you information so that you don't make the same mistakes. But also, you meet people and you learn that people go through certain things, and you're like, oh man, I can, that happened to me, and I did X, Y, Z, and so hopefully they can learn and it didn't happen. One of the biggest things I learned from my transition from Central to A&T is to speak for yourself. Not to just go specifics, but me and Rolly were getting like just a feel like, man, something ain't right. You know what I mean? So we went and had a conversation with some people in administration, and that conversation.
And at this point, was it still who was the chancellor at this time?
Was
it Saunders White or was it? Okay.
She passed away, right?
Yeah. She passed a couple of years ago. Who was the the first dude that was there when I was
Nims.
Charlie Nims?
Nims.
Oh my God,
man.
bro. Savannah State was what I was gonna bring up.
No, let's leave Savannah State alone. Oh man.
On the 50.
But it was a conversation with administration, and during that time, it was eye-opening to me because I was told that I was a subpar educator. Based on evaluations and things that were said on my behalf, what the administration saw or what the data that they had was that my teaching or the things that I was involved in was below standard. Subpar educator, right? I am telling you verbatim. And then I was also told when we tried to explain what was going on, they were like, no, this is actually what's happening. This, and this, and this, and this. And I'm like, huh? You're like, well, how do you not know what's going on in your own program? They leaned in and was like, this is a learning experience. I'm a grown-ass man. But for somebody to be like, this is a learning experience, I was like, wow. So that has never left me. And it continues to fuel me because I refuse to believe that I am a subpar educator.
I would disagree with that.
But then again, you never know who's speaking on your behalf.
Right, yeah.
I would go into buildings when I first got to Central, and I'd be like, how you doing? I'm Lamon Lawhorn. Oh, you work with the band. I'm like, you work at Reed. I was like, but you don't know how are you doing? I'm Lamon.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me be my own person. So when I first got here to A&T, and I'll go back some more. When I first got here in A&T, like every time I went in somewhere, I introduced myself. How you doing? I'm Lamon Lawhorn. You work with the band? Yes, I work. I'm one of the new assistants, and I'm doing this. Let me know how I can help. Emails, going back and forth. I am speaking for myself. And I was also given the opportunity to be a representative for the band. Like Dr. Ruff put me in places and situations for me to grow, for me to learn, for me to establish myself as who I am, just on my own.
Yeah.
Like go out, recruit, go out and take meetings on behalf of the band. And it wouldn't be like a meeting and I I go say what he wants me to say. It would be a meeting and be like, okay, come back. So what we doing? What y'all agree on? Okay, well, this is what we have to do. And it was like, I'm speaking as a representative for the band. I'm making decisions that the band will do with his consultation, but not with his direction, because he's putting me in situations to grow and to be an assistant band director. And when I was at Central, I was a percussion instructor. Here, I'm an assistant director of bands. So I make decisions through Dr. Ruff, but I also can make a decision on behalf of the band, and then we got to rock with it.
Right.
I mean, and so that transition from Central back to where we were talking about Chuck. So it was like April, and he was like, man, A&T got a position open. I was like, man, what it look like me going to A&T? Man, get out of here, man. Like,
and is this before or after? Like,
this is, no, he may have contacted me in March and told me about it. And I was like, dog, like, nah, ain't no way going to no damn A&T. What you think this is?
But at the time, though, I
had no clue of what was coming down the pipeline.
Okay, so you were still employed. Yeah,
when people were talking about, when directors was talking, man, when Reed was talking about going to FAMU, I just assumed that me and Rolly is finna step up and it's gonna be our program. It didn't turn out that way. So I'm all in on Central. I'm a loyalist. Like, I'm there. You know what I mean? And so when the stuff happened and came down the pipeline, Chuck was like, man, they got a position, man. I was like, nah, man, can't do it. I can't do no lateral move. Like, I need to be doing other things. Because I have other professional goals, like, things I want to do. I just can't be. And what it looked like me going to A&T.
Right.
Like, no.
Man, golly.
So then when stuff really got real, had to be, okay, let's be serious about this. Like, you need a job, dog. Like,
yeah,
you need a job.
First and foremost.
So I had different people or was telling me about different things or opportunities that may show up. And I was like, you know what, man, let me put this. I was like, wait, let me get some more information. Like, what is a job at A&T? Like, am I teaching majors or am I doing this or is it just with the band? Like, what's this? He was like, I don't know. I can't tell y'all. I don't know all that. Just they got a job open.
It's open.
Okay, cool. So I put the job opening there. This is real transparent. Like, a lot of people don't know none of this. Like, I applied to a bunch of different places. Like, I spoke with people at like Virginia State, Alabama A&M. I had an interview at Alcorn. Like, it's just crazy. And so, but I'm just like, this is a weird space because I'm ABD. I finished all my coursework. I'm writing my dissertation. I got 1 year left. I mean, my wife been married 2 years. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I need a job. And I was just scrambling. And I learned how to pray. When I was in Durham, like, I came across a crazy situation. I just remember learning how to pray from this white girl. She was like, when you pray about something, be thankful for the situation. They say, be thankful for the situation. Ask that God's will be done throughout the situation. And then ask that the decision be so crystal clear, this is the only decision that you make. So anytime I'm like struggling with something, trying to make it, that's what I pray, like that. So I went on an interview at Alcorn. Boom, fell apart. It's like, man, I don't know if I could live out in Alcorn anyway, but it was a cool experience. Boom. The conversation with director at Alabama A&M fell apart. Not on his behalf. Great guy. That fell apart. Opportunity at Virginia State. Thinking, okay, maybe, me and my wife had went down to Richmond and just, we was looking, maybe this may work, Boom, fell apart. A&T. I had an interview here, and man, when I say the students ripped me, ooh-wee.
So the students was in on the interview.
Yeah, so it was an official process, you know what I mean? I had the interview, I had to come and speak with a lot of people, but there was a student portion of it, and when I say they was serious, like, I was like, oh, okay, the program is real. Because one thing I used to say about A&T and Cold Steel was like, I used to say two things. One, they are really good, but they really dirty.
Dirty.
Dirt. Like, they really good, but they really dirty. And two, you can't knock the hustle. Like, you can say all you want to about what they do.
They was on their ground,
but they own it. Like, they own it. And so in the student thing, they were like, so what do you think about Cold Steel? And I was like, they too good to be so sorry. And everybody was like, huh? Really? And there was people in Cold Steel that was there, and I was like, individually, I think they can play. Like,
no, because they had some dudes.
They could play.
They had some dudes.
They dudes got hands, like they can play. But they dirties. Why? Like, y'all are too good to be so sorry. Like, and I still say this, like, y'all sorry. Sorry is my word. Like, y'all sorry. Y'all sorry.
Every time,
SAWRY. And so,
sorry.
And so again, everything fell apart. And this summer was crazy. Like, that summer 14 was crazy. That was the centennial for Phi Beta Sigma. I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma. And I had already registered for the centennial, all of that stuff. I had surgery on my hand because I'd be working out and wearing my wedding ring created a something in my something in my finger.
Yeah.
Where it would start to hurt when I'm playing like marimba or anything for too long. It would hurt. It was like a ball of something. You could feel it. It was something in there. And Dr. Ruff sent me an email, and I was like, "So am I getting a job?" He was like, "I don't know, but we'd like to, ask that you come to our leadership retreat." And I counseled it was the same weekend as Centennial. Gave my registration to one of my LBs and stuff like that.
Priorities.
Yeah, but I was like, if this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a position. And it turned out to be, somebody made the comment, somebody that was from Central was like, "Man, you went through all of that to now be at the #1 HBCU." And I was like,
It hurts to hear that.
I was like, wow, And so now just looking back on it, as I said, like, I believe favor is on my life, and the things I've been able to do here at A&T is kind of bittersweet because I said all of that stuff when I was at Central. I said we was going to pay at PASIC. I said we was going to do XYZ. I said we were going to do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And every idea and vision that I've had, except for a couple, I've been able to do while I'm here at A&T.
They gave you a platform to be able to complete your goals.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was also support.
That you had people backing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, go do it.
Yeah.
Go do it because you're going to look good on my watch.
Yeah.
That's the joke, but you know what I mean? But why not? Why wouldn't you want somebody that's going to go out and do things to bring notoriety back to the university? And let's support you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand I can be a hothead. I can. But I'm a hothead behind ideas that I think are going to be beneficial to the students and to those around me. So why not me be able to go to PASIC? You know what? I think we need to bring the drumline to PASIC. We made it happen. And because of that, now we are all over the place with different things, but also HBCUs are looked at differently in the percussion world. And we're having conversations behind the scene about how can HBCUs be more involved, you know what I mean? And I'm going to always be an advocate for Black percussionists and HBCUs because that's my upbringing. But I also want to make sure good information is getting out there, generally. And so there's a lot of misconceptions about Black percussionists and Black HBCUs. So why can't I help change that narrative, right? And so because I'm here at A&T and I'm adamant about total percussion, we have percussion ensemble, and we have a legit media team. I'm into media. Why not re-record some of these ensemble concerts and stuff like that? Why don't we create videos just as some of these other ensembles are? And now we're being contacted by composers to say, "Hey, can I commission a piece for you? Hey, can we do these things for you?" Because we need to be on that same platform. That may have been 10 years ago or whoever, but I wasn't given that type of support while I was at Central. It could have gotten there, maybe.
Yeah.
Do I think it would have? Probably not. But here, and even a lot of my focused success has been on like PAS because that has been where a lot of percussive minds go. That's where a lot of decisions are made, and that's where a lot of exposure is done. Since then, we've had KJ Garner get second place in the collegiate snare competition. I think he should have got first. A student, Isaiah Tatum, when he was in high school, I told him, "Look, man, you got chops. Like, I think you can win this PAS thing." And I worked with him. We formulated some stuff. We worked on like how to play a solo, how to be musical, how to get all of your chops in without over chopping. How can you be musically expressive? As a high school student, he went up there and won the high school competition as a snare drum player. He's now the co-steel captain. And then just recently, Julian Allred, he came in 17, played drum set. We had conversations when he came in. He didn't know what he wanted to do. Do I come here? Do I go to Berkeley? I was like, "Look, man, I'm going to do everything I can for you to be successful." And he, a beastie drum set player. Just recently, maybe 3 weeks ago, he won the PAS drum set competition.
Yeah.
And these things, by no means am I saying they happen because of me. I'm saying they happened with me because we were able to get the resources and the support and exposure, and the students got the right information. Like, they were knowledgeable of these things that they can accomplish. And the whole thing is, we are often we get ceilings, like, as black people, as black percussionists, as whatever, we get these ceilings that this misconception that all we do is boogie and jam and shake, like minstrel show. Right?
Yeah.
That's all we are.
Nah, facts.
And by no means, like, we are more than that. But do we have the information to attain what it is that we're trying to do? And HBCUs or HBCU percussionists oftentimes lack information. I'm not saying the correct information, because what's the saying? Like, you often think your mother's cooking is the best cook in the world, but that's all you've eaten.
Right.
Like, how do you know when you've never eaten somebody else's cooking? So it's all like, how do you know this is all you can accomplish if you've never learned about anything else? So my whole goal is to get you as much exposure as you want, as much exposure as you can intake, and then you decide which route you want to take. And then I'll help be your GPS. So yeah, the whole thing with A&T has been a blessing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just completed year 8, and there's ideas that are still untapped. And like, here is like the creative mecca. I'll say it, man. There's no staff like the staff here at A&T. Like, between, director staff, the percussion staff, everybody on staff is always trying to push the envelope to do better. So at the end of the day, if you're just sitting back getting comfortable, you're gonna feel uncomfortable, because people are still trying to churn out new stuff, and you're just like, I'm good with that. No, we're not good with that.
Right.
We got to keep it going. And if you just want to sit back, you ain't gonna last long. So you got to keep up.
Constantly progressing.
And it's cool to sit back and be thankful of the accomplishments, but if you sit back and get too comfortable, you'll get passed by.
Yeah. No,
so
facts.
we always trying to push the envelope.
Facts. That's real. So with, man, and let me say this, man, because, I'm here for the wedding, man. My sister get married, so, we on a time constraint. We could really go forever.
Yeah.
Let me say this, man. Dude, you are one of the most influential people, like, in my life, dog. Like, really, really, really mean that. Like, one of the things that you said to me when I was 17 that I'll never forget, it was about time, how to, like, maximize the time you have. Like, don't just sit around, because I used to do a lot of just sitting around and, like, lingering, and be like, yo, like, if you got this free time, like, do something with it. Like, be productive with the time you have. And that really changed my entire outlook on life. Like, now I'm not as free as I don't have a lot of luxury time because I'm very busy, which now requires me to do a little more resting because I'm so busy. But in moments where I wasn't as busy, like, there was a moment in my life, the job I went out to Tulsa for, had a contract 2 years, did that, and, I'm working at the casino, bro. They got me on, like, a 2 or 3 day schedule, right? So I got days where I don't even go clock in. But in them days, I'm working, like, grinding, seriously grinding, trying to better my situation. And that was, I believe, like, what you said really, really inspired that grind for me. Because if I wouldn't have did it, ain't no telling, bro. I might still be in them raggedy apartments that I had, like, and it's just like constantly. I often think, like, one, go to class was a thing that I picked up and started saying to everybody, like, make sure y'all go to class and don't just be out here chilling. But, dude, just, like, small gems. Even when we talk now, like, you'll say something and I'm just like, bro, I needed that. Like, at 28, bro, I can still call the big homie. He dropped some gems on me. You know what I mean? Like, so, bro, I appreciate you, man. Like, and, I even see myself now in the shoes that you were for me, which is crazy to think about. But be some young, I'm just like, hey, bro, here go this gym I'm gonna give you. Take that and run with it.
Yeah.
They come back and be like, man, that was it. I'm like, yeah, paying it forward, bro.
Man, you have to, like, on the whole time thing. I know for a while I was saying, like, you have to maximize every opportunity, like, because you never know when the opportunity is going to come back again, and you never want to be judged on your 80. And you never want to be judged on your 80 when you can give 100. Right?
Facts.
I lost a gig to a student. Shout out Curry, beast. I was asked to play drums. I went to the rehearsal, and I ain't have it, but I was like, holding back a little bit. Let me just get it down a little bit. And I left that rehearsal and went and shared it for like 2 hours. I was like, oh, I got it now. That was Wednesday night. Thursday morning, I got the call that, yeah, we're going to go with somebody else. I went and practiced 2 hours, after the rehearsal to get it solid. I was at my 100. I held back to 80. And Thursday morning, I was told, oh, yeah, we're gonna go with somebody else who wouldn't fit. Go to church that Sunday, and the person that's playing is the student that I'm teaching. Like, what?
Are you talking about John?
Yeah.
Hey.
He's
a
dog,
man, yo.
Look, as many
cold.
Look, he is by far one of my favorite drummers. Not just because I'm closely connected to him, but just because he can play.
He's a dog.
Like, he can play. Like, this dude can play. I never forget that, because like you get one time to make a first impression, and if you have 100, go for it. Like, if that's all you, and I tell students all the time, like, if you're giving me your best, I will accept that, even if your best is trash, because I know you're doing as best as possible. But if you're saying, yeah, I could do a little bit more, well, then do more. Like, why am I looking at your half-assedness when you could really give me more? If you can give me more, like, what we playing for? So always maximize every opportunity. And also time, like, time is valuable. 2020 showed everybody how much time we have and how much time we don't. We lost so many people, right? I lost so many people close to me, still losing people that are close. But then at the same time, everybody had so much time on their hands to do whatever. And now, 2 years later, you can look back and say, man, I wish I would have done, because now we're getting back in the office, or I got this going on, but you had so much time to learn so much, So time is valuable. And I tell people all the time, like, don't waste my time. I'd rather you waste my money, because I can make more money.
Make more money.
I can't make more time.
Nah, make more time.
So yeah, my whole thing, like, my philosophy of teaching is, one, to motivate students as high as possible. Also get to know students on a personal level, so that that level of trust is there, so that we both believe that we can get to where we're trying to go and accomplish our goals together, right? So I try to make a connection with everybody that I come in contact with, and let people know that I'm a resource. Why? Because I've lived a life. I've gone through things that have impacted me personally, that have changed me and molded me, that I feel like help other people. Especially with me being in like HBCU world, or dealing with black percussionists, or just being a black person, a black male. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that I've gone through that I've gained information from, that I choose to help other people out. I'm a resource. And I tell people all the time, use your resources. And I don't try to give my personal story or put my personal story on people, because sometimes you can have conversations, then you hear them say something, and now you inflicting your own thing on them. But I just try to sit back and be like, you know what? If I can help you, or if I can help somebody do better than me, then do that. Students play all the time like, man, Javon, he used to always be like, man, Lawhorn be better than you. I'm play better than you. I'm like, cool, be better. I want to play like you. No, be better. So students are like, man, I want to be like, and now he a beast. Like, he can play. He had real musical. Like, I love that about his playing real musical. But students are always like, man, I want to be like you when I grow up. Like, no, be better. Don't even, and everybody, sometimes they may say like the playful phrase, like, I'll be like you when I grow up. Like, no, be better. Because you can. And hopefully with the information I've given you, you got some building blocks to go on. So be better. Why not? You make sure you give 100. Don't be out here half-assing.
Don't give 80. What's that one song that they used to sing? 99 and a half.
Oh, won't do. Yeah.
Trying to make 100. Yeah, man. Man, look, man. I hate we gotta wrap this up, because I gotta get back and start moving stuff for this wedding, man.
Moving is horrible. Go ahead, move.
Shout out to my sister for doing the whole wedding thing.
Congratulations. It's a great anniversary date.
Yeah. Y'all finna have the same anniversary. That's crazy.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Dude, I appreciate you, man, taking your time out, man. Doing the fake podcast with me. I don't know what episode this is, but dog, man, 1, it's good to see you.
Likewise.
Man, 2, appreciate you. And 3, man, I'm excited to see what you got for the future. I'm gonna always, stay locked in. And I hate to admit this. I watch y'all way more than I ever did, only because you over here, bro. That was my one thing about you coming out. I was like, dang, they ain't finna be trash no more. I still ain't finna be sorry no more. They finna, I know, because we was never sorry. We was never sorry under you, bro.
But see, that's the thing, and I don't want people to, in any situation, I don't want people to think that I solely am responsible for certain things, because the sum of all is greater than 1, right? So, look, Cold Steel was good before I got here. Hopefully they're better now. But bro,
hopefully
they're better.
Sorry. They was so dirty.
Yeah, that was dirty.
They was, man, look, bro, we ain't finna, man, it's DOA, man. We all right. There's know what time it is, bro. It's DOA from the beginning to the end, axis. All right, I'm in Greensboro. I'm in y'all bedroom. I done invaded the space. This is what I really came in here for. All right, to come in here and let y'all know
go ahead, man.
that it's still DOA,
say what
bro.
You gotta, go ahead,
hey, man.
Been holding on to that one for a while.
Just sitting there for a whole hour, waiting. Hey, man. Y'all know y'all couldn't touch us while I was there. Maybe that last year, but y'all had.
No, that last year we gave them business in that.
Man,
look, we don't even talk. Okay, that can be up for discussion with all the other stuff. But that last game, 14, no, fall 13. Fall 13. That's
no, fall 14.
No.
Oh, no. You talking about when you was still...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fall 14. Fall 13. I don't care how small it was or whatever. They got that work.
It was bad, bro. It was...
Yeah, we can just say it. I've had all type of arguments and stuff. We 8 years in, I still will commit to that.
Whoop, bro. Dog walk.
That was a bad day.
That was a good note to go out on, but then to go over there afterward, it's all good.
It's all cool.
Hey. It's all good. We did our thing, man. We had a good run, man. Had a good run. But I appreciate you again, man. Fake podcast. We up out of here.